front half of the tractor is actually pretty well balanced. It doesn't, not as heavy as I was thinking it was going to be one way or the other. Now I can well, the bottom sides of all the stuff. So yeah, I gotta hold the bottom side of here, all these flanges here, and maybe even throw a coat of paint on most of the stuff. So I'll get to work on that real quick. Well, I'm out of MIG wire after running out of MIG gas. So, being weekend, holiday weekend, that's that. I'm not going to be able to get any stuff, so I'm going to use the TIG welder to get this done so I can keep making progress. So I've got it split in half, and I got this side welded up on the bottom. I put some of that rust reformer on top, put a coat of paint on it. I was thinking, I was like, oh, I need to run control solenoid back there, but a control link to the valve, but no, I'm just gonna run hoses directly into the thing. So I took that valve off. I was pretty surprised at how balanced the tractor is just on its own. There's not a lot of weight either or. Of course, when I'm sitting on it, it's gonna be a bit, but so once I get some more welding wire so that I can finish welding up that half, and I'll see about start painting it. I'll paint the back half, get that cleaned up a little bit. So that's where I'm at for now, waiting on materials. So I've been working on painting parts. I got the rear end all done, and then I got just finished up getting the front half all stripped down and ready for paint. And I a little better detail of the steering brace. This is the floppy joint mount, whatever you want to call it. Here's my main the steering brace, and how that's all boxed in and should be pretty rugged. You can see how it mounts to the tractor to the rear. This whole frame bolts onto the rear frame of the rear toe mounts of the regular case 155 rear end. Got the travel control valve in there. It's all plumbed. I do still need to make the steering thing, and so I was thinking I might try to do or not steering, but the throttle. So I was gonna do some push pedal valves, but I think I might end up having to do a like a push bar, like 1/4-inch rod, and some brass sleeves or something to mount to control my throttle. Or my, not throttle, but my travel. But yeah, it's all stripped down, ready to start painting. Maybe work on that linkage or something, but this is my bracket for the steering valve. You see I got the spacers because one side's wider than the other. So yeah, I still need to get my sump return line, and I think I had one. I think I stole it to put on the other tractor, but pretty close to having the hydraulics done, but still need to do a little work. So this week I got a lot of painting done. I got both half of the frames painted. Had this been painted last week. Got this one done. I got my steering center, my floppy joint, my 3 points all painted. So now I need to start working on putting it together. A quick and easy way of masking off hoses is to wrap them in tinfoil. So I've got somehow I've got to get steering or power linkage to my throttle control valve, because it is, I got a transmission right away in the way of how you normally have your linkage control to it. Normally you're shifting this from the back of it. So once I get it back together, I'm gonna do this. So I got a piece of tube. I machined a little adapter to adapt down to the tube is some thin wall stuff. And I machined this press-in fitting that takes a bronze thing. So I think I'd mount this on the side here. I got the engine right there, you know, whatever's inside here. Mount it to here, bolt it somewhere along here, and then have my instead of having just regular foot pedal, I might actually have like a pedal that actually controls forward and reverse, rather than trying to use the hand control, which has always been a little different than some of the modern tractors. So anyways, I bent this bar up. And this goes in here. So this will have a little, you know, end on this. So the hole comes into this, bolt that through that. And then this will slide in and out of that tube. Put some lock on that Rollins fitting there. But so yeah, this is going to come in and out to control my throttle or travel control valve via foot pedal. But now I just need to start putting it back together, bolt all the pieces back on it, put the engine back in it and everything, and then work on getting the rest of the body done. I got the body panels there, rear fenders and all the front fenders. I did get some cans of dealership paint for the fenders and body, so I'm gonna start working on that. So I'm gonna keep at it. So another little quick update. I worked on this for a couple minutes today. So it's starting to come back together. You know, stuff's all painted, frame's all painted, 3 points painted. I'll just need to get some new stickers and stuff for the dashboard. Starting to strip down and get the headlight nose panel redone. I gotta just kind of get in here so I can mop it up. I've been working on steering, as I said before. I can't, the transmission's on the wrong side for the control linkage. So I think I'm going to put a get the right one here. So these are the pedals, or the floor thing. I guess you're supposed to go the other way. This one's supposed to be flat going back to the moving angle this way. So I think I'm going to figure out where the tire is. I'm gonna make a more of a pedal, so it'll still be on this rocker shaft, but something to the effect of this, you know, so it's gonna you know, it'll be centered on the sort of pivot will be in the middle of the thing, so you go up and down, so you can push backwards, but it's gonna come on, push on this bar here. So I've got this bar lined up, and I cut a little notch in the cowl, or you want to call it, because that goes down inside to the travel control valve, and so this goes forward and backwards depending on where you press on this. I'll get it so it notches just right, so that's neutral. No. I'm not sure which one's which, forward, reverse. I guess I'd have to figure that out before I weld up a linkage. So I guess if anybody knows which way, pull out on the valves, that send power to the go forward or reverse. I'm not sure if the travel control valve is full speed to forward and reverse, or is it faster in reverse or forward? But I'll have to figure that out. So yeah, I got this tube. I made a little bushing to hold a 1/2 inch by 3/8 bushing, you know, bronze bushing. Another one here. I'll have to make another one to go on this end, and then I'll put a grease fitting in here so I can fill that tube with grease. Steering column is all painted and mounted, so now I just need to figure out where the, you know, I gotta get some lines made up for it. Painted the pump bracket, the air cleaner. So I still have the oil cooler to put in here. So that's obviously goes in here, but I'm not quite sure how this is the right size oil cooler or what, but it's the right height. I guess if the lines are on top, it would work. So I gotta on the feed and return on those. Kind of a tight fit. A little fluid in that. So yeah, so I got the this is the that's the main. I can figure how that goes, but that's the feed to the travel control valve. So much of a I got a 90 on this that goes from the pump. Oh, it goes into my right, I'm back. I found that line. This is the, need to get a line going from the pump into my primary valve, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be to feed the steering pump. So I'll probably change this down size so it's the right size to go into the steering. Steering's going to come down through here, out of here, and then down to the frame right here, and back to there. So that'll be pretty easy. And then the return. So I've got two returns. So I guess I have a T in there. I've got a return off my steering and a return into the off my travel control valve. So I'm gonna have to go up and go into a T, and then a return line coming out of here down into the pan. So I'll probably come out this side into the pan. So I still have a little bit of figuring out to do on that stuff, and then the pedal. I got to figure out which way that travel control valve works before I do that work, of course. But it's getting a lot closer. Tire off. I just got it half jacked up so I can work on it. So on a tweaked up angle, but so gonna keep working on sanding down the body parts. I gotta make two little extensions here because I put wheel spacers on this side. So I gotta make these little trays that come off of here that my fenders are gonna bolt to give that extra width. So I'll just do like a little bend on it. I'll just measure up how much I need to space off from that tire in the back and get two of them made. So yeah, and then the fenders will just get bolted right to the sides of those. So hopefully next week or so this thing will start coming to life pretty quick. Thanks for watching.